the exact same thing is done on the economy. When we shut down the system, we know that we are causing pain to the system, right? And then when we began opening up, you will remember that there was a lot of talk from great Nobel laureates like Joe Stiglitz and Raghuram Rajan and all these people whose view was go out there and spend money, expend as much energy, reflate the economy as fast as possible. Our view is that this is a stupid idea. This is not a demand problem. People want to spend money. We are the ones who've shut down the malls, we have shut down the restaurants. So to go out there and spend large amount of money to reinflate the economy is because in your head the economy is a steam engine and it has slowed down, so you have to shovel coal in. This is the problem. But in fact, this is not a demand problem, this is a supply problem. Shoveling in more coal would be the equivalent of pressing the accelerator when your foot is on the brake. All you will get is that the car will overheat. So the point was, we said the solution is a different one. Just like you had a barbell strategy on the health side, we did the same thing on the economy side. Hedge for the worst case outcome. Do not reinflate the economy to start with. Hedge for the worst case outcome. So you create a safety net. Make sure nobody starves. So you create a food safety network. 800 million people were provided free food access. Not everybody turned up for the food, but they had access to the food. We did exactly the same thing for the economy. Everybody said go and give free checks to the small business, and that's what many countries did and ran up huge debts. The UK is in serious trouble because of doing this. We did not do this despite a lot of criticism. Instead, what we did is we created lots of liquidity and guarantees. So we cut interest rates, made the system flush with liquidity, and then we guaranteed the system. The government basically guaranteed the system. Why were we doing this? Because we wanted to stop cascades of defaults on payments. We didn't want a situation because he can't pay him, he can't pay that guy can't pay me, I can't pay you, and we all go bust. So what we wanted to avoid was to create a safety net for a default, cross-default, a pandemic of its own. So everybody goes bust because nobody else can pay. So what you do is you guarantee the thing. As it turned out, we didn't have to pay very many people. Very, very few people went bust. But the reason very few people went bust is, one, of course, we kept the bankruptcy and insolvency code in abeyance for a little while. And the other was we guarantee everybody's payments and pumped a huge amount of liquidity. Everybody was flushed with liquidity. So the system didn't go bust. In the end, it cost us very little money, relatively speaking. Meanwhile, we were also building massive amount of foreign exchange reserves. Again, a lot of criticism at that time. Why are you building foreign exchange reserves at this time? Because we are building buffers. All of this is a safety net idea. This is one part of the barbell. Barbell has weight on two sides. This is one part of the barbell. The other side of the barbell is you continuously respond as things evolve. Rather than try and predict upfront how the world will evolve, we have no idea whether the pandemic will last 6 months, it will last 1 year, it may last 2 years. So instead of using up all our ammunition right in the beginning on the fiscal and monetary front, we were quite judicious. And when the economy finally opened up in October of 2020, that is when we began to spend a lot more money on creating infrastructure. Why were we using infrastructure rather than going around spending? Well, because we knew that we were going to run up large amounts of debt to do all this spending. That is the point at which you have removed your foot from the brake. You can press the accelerator. But even then, you're running up debt. So if you're running up debt and future generations, you will have to repay it. It is important that we leave behind for you assets that we created on the basis of that debt. So we were very clear, and we have remained clear since then, that we will run up debts, yes, but we will always make sure that those debts are run up against assets. The same reason, for example, why I am against the reintroduction of the old pension systems, because it's a future liability against which there are no assets.